In contrast to his first 2 terms as Prime Minister, the first year of Modi's third term has been marked with reversals. Last year on June 9th, Narendra Modi took oath as Prime Minister of India for the third consecutive term, but for the first time as the head of government, which was entirely dependent on its coalition partners. While Modi and his Bharatiya Janata Party had made repeated claims of crossing the 400-seat mark with the slogan of 400 paar in 2024 Lok Sabha election campaign. The results on June 4th saw the Saffron Party reduced to 240 seats in the Lok Sabha and forced to rely on its coalition partners to form the government. Whether it is announcement of providing caste enumeration data along with the next decadal census, soliciting opposition support in its global diplomatic outreach following Operation Sindoor, calling for reservations in lateral entry hires for union government posts, bringing in the unified pension scheme by reversing a 21-year-old pension reform decision brought by the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government, or its moves in parliament where it was forced to send key legislations like the Waqf amendment to a parliamentary committee, the last year shows how the third Modi government has had to operate under the demands of a coalition government as well as under the pressure of a stronger opposition. As Modi completes a year in office in his third stint as Prime Minister, and as the BJP looks to shift focus to 11 years of governance, here are 5 key reversals that his government has taken in the last year in a departure from his previous 2 terms of one-party strongman dominance. On April 30th, the Union government announced the caste enumeration data will be included along with decadal census. A nationwide caste census had been a long-standing demand of the opposition parties and was a central issue during the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Union Minister for Information and Broadcasting Ashwini Vaishnav, while making the announcement, said that the decision showed that the government's committed to the values and interests of society and country. He also accused the India Alliance of using the caste census as a political tool and said that the Congress governments have always opposed caste census. The decision is a sharp reversal of the BJP stance in 2024 election campaign when it had dismissed the demand for a caste census as a move to divide society. Last week, the government announced that the long-delayed population caste, which was last conducted in 2011 along with the enumeration of castes, will be conducted in 2 phases starting October 1st, 2026. In August, the Union government asked the Union Public Service Commission to withdraw an advertisement for lateral recruitment to 45 key posts that was issued just a day earlier amid pressure from the opposition as well as its own allies in the National Democratic Alliance (NDA). In asking for the advertisement to be withdrawn, Junior Minister for Personnel, he said that the step would be a significant advance in the pursuit of social justice and empowerment, and that PM Modi is of the belief that the process of lateral entry must be aligned with the reservations. The advertisement for 10 joint secretary and 35 director or deputy secretary level posts through lateral entry was criticized not only by the opposition as well as a well-planned conspiracy to keep out reservations, but was also publicly opposed by Union Minister Chirag Paswan of the Lok Janshakti Party, Ram Vilas Paswan, an NDA partner who had said there can be no ifs and buts in reservations for government posts. The reversal came just days after government had doubled down on the move, with union ministers defending lateral recruitments and citing previous government appointments including under the UPA, but was then forced to reverse its decision. Also in August, the Union Cabinet approved the Unified Pension Scheme, reversing a 21-year-old pension reform decision brought by the Vajpayee government in the form of the National Pension Scheme. The UPS will provide an assured sum of at least 50% of the last 12 months' average salary as pension to government employees and combine the old pension scheme OPS by including an assured pension but with a contributory structure. Employees and the government like in the NPS. In April 2023, the Modi government constituted a committee under Union Finance Secretary T.V. Samanathan to review the NPS and ensure fiscal prudence. The cabinet decision on the UPS had come just months after key assembly elections in Haryana, Maharashtra and Jharkhand. Unlike the previous 2 terms, the last year saw a decisive shift in how the Modi government operates internationally, with the ruling party having resorted to bipartisan support following the Pahalgam terror attack, Operation Sindoor and the military conflict with Pakistan. While the previous 2 terms saw Modi making India's foreign policy about himself, including while responding to terror attacks like Pulwama in 2019, which was followed by Balakot airstrikes, this time the government solicited opposition support in sending out delegations for a major diplomatic outreach. 7 teams of all-party delegations and former diplomats were sent to 33 countries to portray India's zero-tolerance policy to terrorism as the Modi government sought global support in isolating Pakistan-sponsored terrorism. While 3 of these delegations were led by opposition MPs, 2 were led by the BJP's coalition partners, and the remaining 2 by BJP MPs. While such delegations have been sent out in the past under previous governments, it was a first under Modi to put forth a collective resolve who has routinely demonized the opposition instead of seeking its support. While the Modi government in its first 2 terms had been criticized for bulldozing through parliament key legislations like the contentious farm bills in 2020, reading down of Article 370, and even gone on to suspend a record number of MPs at the end of the 2nd term, the last year has seen a change with a resurgent opposition in parliament, criticizing the proposed legislation for targeting Muslims being unconstitutional and anti-federal. The Wire has earlier reported that a significantly larger number of bills had been sent to select committees for a review under the UPA government between 2004 to 14. The legislation was finally passed by Parliament in April following 2 consecutive overnight sessions, but saw a narrow margin in its passage. While in the Rajya Sabha, it was passed with 128 votes in favour and 95 against. In the Lok Sabha, it was passed with 288 votes in favour and 232 against the legislation. The government also put the broadcasting bill on the back burner after it was announced in August last year that the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting was working on a draft broadcasting services regulation bill, and the first draft will be put out after detailed consultation. Earlier in December 2023, it had circulated a draft among select stakeholders. The old draft version had draconian features pointing to a fully controlled media environment and a bid to push digital media into government and executive control. Following criticism of the government's decision announced in the union budget to change how a tax on real estate sales was calculated, the Lok Sabha also passed legislation that would allow taxpayers to choose between old and new tax rates.